It's Real 92.3, Bootleg Kev, DJ Head, special guest
West
in the
Coast.
building. The homie Conway, the machine.
Yo, what up, man? What up? It's the machine. What's good?
I know you brought your boy with you too. I'm gonna let you introduce him, man.
Yeah, that's my boy Rick High, man. Talk to him, bro.
What's popping, people? It's your boy Ricky.
Yo, Conway, man, I've been fucking with you for, I feel like it's going like 2.5 years now, man. The whole Griselda movement, just the aggression,
Right.
the fucking, just everything is on point. The bars, the branding. I mean, I just feel like
It's real raw.
it's something that's been missing from hip hop for a long time, and I appreciate what you're bringing to the game, man. You and the whole squad.
Thank you, man. I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate you for tapping in and, you know what I'm saying, and supporting the culture first and foremost, because that's what this shit for.
Yeah, me and Green Lantern been talking about doing something with y'all for a couple years now. Like every time y'all would be in LA, I don't know, you know, when I remember you guys had to pop up on Fairfax and just didn't end up working out, but I'm glad to finally get you up here, man.
No doubt.
Everybody is Food 3's been out. You got the new record with Eminem. By the way, shout out to M. Sounded real good on there.
Why you let Eminem do that on the record though? Like I just asked you a second ago.
Listen,
Like
man.
it seemed like everybody called it stray. Like
Yeah.
well, you know, not everybody, but a few
Yeah.
people called it stray on there.
I was kind of, you know, shocked too when I heard the shit. Like, damn, why you do that?
Yeah, right.
my
A little
bad.
disrespectful. A little
Yeah,
disrespectful.
my feet wet. I'm just, you know, I'm just a regular guy.
I feel
But
like
yeah.
that's the hardest M has came on a feature in a long time.
Yeah, nah, no doubt. Like, he was in his bag, man. He just was, you know, coming with how he was supposed to come. And, you know, made sure that he gave me, you know what I'm saying? You know, he heard that beat, you know what I'm saying? That nigga just went with
Did
his
you
shit.
say anything to him? Like, did you say anything after you got the verse, or
Nah, actually, I ain't got a chance yet, but I'm gonna definitely say anything. I just said, like, damn, bro.
On my shit.
You could have let me know you was going like that, baby.
That's
But
fair.
nah, man, that's the big bro. You know what I'm saying? All jokes aside, and you know what I mean. He real crafty with his shit. So, you know what I mean. That's how he felt, man. You know what I'm saying? Just having fun, man. Just poking at them niggas. That's all. You know what I mean?
100%, man. It's crazy too, because I mean, you always got to give respect to M for tapping into y'all's wave and being in the position he's in, because, you know, I know between you guys, and shout out to the homie Pounds that's up there as well. I feel like there's this like super underground wave going on, and like to catch Eminem's attention and for him to put his machine behind it is a big deal for the culture, man.
Yeah. That was for me. That was dope too. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, because this is Eminem we talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the most successful, you know what I'm saying, hip hop artist probably of all time. So it's like for him to tap into the culture that much, and you know what I mean, and link with niggas like us.
Yeah,
you know what I mean,
yeah.
coming from where we come from, and you know our content and the things we talk about and our beat selection and just everything how we give it up is like to have a guy like Eminem tap into that. That shit took me there. It was like, you know what I mean? He appreciate the art. You know what I'm saying?
and M's always historically, like, I don't think Eminem's ever signed someone that can't rap. Like, it's always,
Right.
you know, Wolf, Slaughterhouse, Royce,
Yeah.
you know, shout out to the homie Boogie. Shout out to, I mean, I feel like, you know, M respects that over everything.
Yeah,
Hey,
nah,
shout
he a lyrical. He a real. He listening. He got his ear to it. He listening for every single word, syllable. You know what I'm saying? Simile, all that shit. Your breath control, how you doing it. He picking your shit apart, and you gotta definitely be. You know what I'm saying?
Have you
Top
ever-
tier with it.
have you ever had any conversation with him? Because like some of the homies that fuck with him said that it's the bars is one thing, but then having a conversation with him is a whole nother thing. Like, have you
Yeah.
had a chance to sit down and have a conversation?
Yeah, absolutely. We had a couple conversations, a lot, like, you know, a few conversations all the time, and it's just, you know, it's just always love. You know what I mean? That's what I always try to do. Like, it'd be stuff that I'd be curious about, like how he did it. You know what I mean? And or what he think of something that I'm doing or did. You know what I mean? And I try to get insight, and I just, you know, we talk about, you know what I mean, life stuff, family stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's just he a regular dude, man. You know what I mean? People don't really get to see that side because he don't really let nobody in. You know what I mean? I'm kind of like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm working on that, but not saying nothing wrong with that, but you know,
Right.
I'm working on that. I'm kind of like that.
Yo, your guys' output as a crew has been crazy. Like, I feel like the amount of music you guys are putting out is over the last 3 years has been
yeah.
like insane. Now with music like changing to where, because you guys are heavy on like the mixtape shit and the SoundCloud shit, and obviously like more traditional mixtapes. I would say earlier on, um, does it like kind of throw a wrench in like how you guys release music now that it's just kind of like you really got to have your shit on Spotify, and it's a little bit harder to do the samples and a little bit harder to hop on other people's shit and kind of
Right,
you
right,
know what I'm
right.
saying? Have you like, I mean, you're still putting out hella
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. I mean, it's kind of both. You know what I'm saying? We've been blessed with the freedom to be able to just what I mean, do what we gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Shit, stay lit. You know what I mean? Get litter, and that's really been a freedom that we had the luxury of having. But also, excuse me, like we got Derringer, we got Beat Butcher. They whipping up. You know what I'm saying? Crazy, crazy wave with like no samples and all that. So we finding ways to get around that whole dynamic. But you know what I mean? It ain't really changed up how our approach or none of that in no form. Like we still just, what I mean, mashing the gas. That's how we like to say it. Like, man, we gotta mash the gas even more.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? We doing 120 on I-10 right now.
Yo,
You know what I mean?
it's crazy because like you guys coming from Buffalo is a city that doesn't have a big hip hop identity, even though New York as a state
Right.
obviously does. But
Right.
do you? I mean, do you feel like a lot of responsibility putting on the city? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? I felt that early on, you know what I'm saying, before this shit was even thought about being a real thing. Like I was just, the guy in the city who I was the one holding this shit down, you know what I'm saying? And like had the city on my shoulders and traveling and on the road and going to this city and that city and just passing my demos out and my CDs and battling niggas and going on radio shows, freestyling and battles and all that. So I felt a big responsibility in that. You know what I mean? Not just for Buffalo, for like the whole upstate because we ain't never really had a shot. You know what I mean?
Facts.
We ain't never really had the shot. Like we don't have like, you know what I mean? Like Universal and all that shit like in downtown Buffalo.
Right,
We can
right,
go
right,
to
right. You can't just
record
pull up.
label, Capitol
Facts.
Records. You can't pull up like so. It's like sometimes it feel like we forgotten about like we don't. There's nobody to listen. Like you can't go to like open mic nights and there's no A&Rs there and nobody like that can kind of help facilitate your career and put you in position.
True.
So it's kind of like we just we love to have that respect of like we the best in the city. So it was like a heavy battle culture. You know what I mean? That's where a lot of my bars and how I rap and how I come with it come from. Because it was
Definitely,
like
yeah, evident.
you had
yeah.
to be tested. Like if you rapped, you got to show and prove. Like where I'm from, like you got to show and prove. Either you got to run down on somebody or somebody gonna run down on you when you least suspect. It might be in the middle of the mall. You with your girl and your kids.
That's crazy.
You gotta give it
You
up
gotta-
right there.
you gotta be ready.
You gotta chop a nigga down right
That's
there.
crazy.
That's some
So
crazy
it's like
shit.
that's where my shit come from. So I always keep my blade sharp. You know what I mean?
What's the temperament between like upstate and the city? Obviously, because I know out here, like a lot of people from what we call the IE, the Inland Empire, they feel the same way you just said. Like they describe the same thing. Like we don't have access to the record label, we don't have access to the clubs,
Right.
we don't got access to all of that type of shit. What's the
Right.
relationship like between artists upstate and like within the city, from your perspective?
I mean, it's see, that's what I'm saying. Like upstate and like where we from, like I said, we don't really get the shot. So it's like, man, we rap with that chip on our shoulder that we
Right.
gotta show and prove. You know what I mean? So it's like when we get the shot, sometimes it might seem like we're a little more hungrier. You know what I mean? We want it more because it's like we look at it like we only got one opportunity. That's how I look at it now. Like even with this shit, like man, this shit could be here today, gone tomorrow.
Facts.
Yeah, I got songs with Eminem out right now and all that shit, but this shit could be gone tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like it's another young hungry nigga dying to just take my spot. So that's my whole approach. You know what I'm saying? And I just try to give it up like that, and I just try to make sure like my homies is on the same page. Like, look, man, this shit don't happen this shit ain't never happened for nobody from where we from.
Right.
We the first niggas to ever kick that door down. So it's like we gotta hold it down. You know what I mean?
No, and all three, I mean, obviously with respect to West Side Gun and Benny and yourself, y'all all three have your own distinct style. And for the people who don't know the history of Griselda, you know, we touched on it with Benny the last time he was here, but like, how did the whole crew link up? What's your relationship with Gunn and with Benny, and how did it, you know, how did
Yeah,
it become something official?
we all family, you know what I'm saying? We all family, you know what I'm saying? Me and Wes brothers, Benny, you know, our cousin, Machine Gun Black, rest in peace, that's our cousin. Derringer, we met, you know, along the way, along the process, but you know, that's our brother. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it just was always a vision, and it was always like, yo, we gonna be the illest niggas ever in the game. Watch, you know what I mean? Since we was kids, we just
Right.
always felt like that. Like, watch when we watch when we get our chin, nigga, we gonna be the illest. You know what I mean? And that was our approach. So we was always doing music together, always working. But it's like, you know, we had one foot in the streets and one foot out. So it's like we was never. It was never really a time. It's the first time in a long time that, like, we joke about it and shit now, like that we all free at the same time. Like it'd always be like
Somebody locked
one
up.
nigga in and one nigga be coming home and shit. You know what I'm saying? Then another nigga. You know what I mean? We'd never be all.
Right.
This never happened. Like, so this is even new to us. Like, we all free, we all healthy, we all on top in our own lanes. You know what I mean? Respected lanes. You know what I'm saying? Benny doing his thing. He on fire.
Oh yeah, he's
Wes on
killing it.
fire. You see,
Everybody,
he
the whole
pulling up
crew's
new
on
shit,
fire, man.
neck looking crazy.
For sure.
I'm on, you know, I'm doing what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Our homies doing what they do. You know what I mean? Coming through, striving and making shit pop. So it's like, this is what we always had, our vision. You know what I mean? This was always the vision. You know what I'm saying? West Side always seen this shit as like, yo, watch, y'all gonna be the two nigga. I got KD and LeBron on my team, on the same team. You know what I'm saying?
And a bunch of red sports cars.
right. Yeah, that nigga.
What was the turning point in your life to where it made you want to go all in on the music and leave the others like the bullshit alone?
It wasn't when I got shot. It was a couple months like after I got shot. I wasn't even supposed to be like off bed rest and leaving the house and none of that shit. But it was like, you know, when you're a street nigga, you sometimes it's hard to make that transition. And I was still hustling or whatever. You know what I mean? Where I could barely walk. I'm on a cane or whatever.
Yeah, the bills don't
And you know
stop.
what I mean?
The lifestyle don't stop.
One of my custies, you know what I mean? One of my legs seen I was vulnerable and kind of like robbed me for my chain and shit. You feel me?
Oh shit!
And after that,
And that was after
after
you
that
got
point,
shot.
yeah, this was right. This was after I got shot. You know what I mean? But it was after that I was like, yo, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Why am I? You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to
all in on the
Word.
music.
Yeah, I'm all in on the music and shit. You know what I mean? And you know, I'm still tapped. You know, I'm still tapped in, but I'm just on the music, man. You know what I'm saying?
shout out to all my Northeast homies who sell dope. They all use the word custy.
Yeah, you already know, man.
And then do you refer to the strip club as the strippy?
Nah.
Okay, that must be some Providence, Boston.
Might be that's probably some young boy shit.
Shout out
you know
my dude
what I mean?
CR the
You know, I'm
Beast.
an OG.
It's crazy. You know, you talk about being shot, and you know that was one of the most distinct things. I remember, like, thinking to myself, like, yo, how hard was it for you to like relearn the breath control and your delivery, like after that happened? Because I could only imagine. It's almost like almost like learning how to walk again? Or?
Yeah, it was. It was like some of the hardest shit I ever had to do, and it was even twice as hard because I was trying to rehabilitate twice as fast. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't want to lose my opportunities with this music shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it just was hard, man. It was hard even. Like, you know what I mean? Like I had the bars, but it was just hard to spit them shits. You know what I'm saying? Like even now, niggas don't even be knowing. Like it'd be hard for me to pronounce like
Certain shit.
like the F words with like F or like that start with F or like SPH and shit like that. Like it sound a little. You know what I mean? I'm still learning. I'm still getting better. You know what I mean? At it and getting my technique down. But you know what I'm saying? Like it was definitely like I had to learn how to breathe and how to like stop saying so much words in my bars, if that make you know what I'm trying to say. Like I used to have more shit. That's why my flow kind of sound a little slower. It was like I found like I heard the beats Derringer was making and them shits fitted perfect, nice and slow and grimy to where I could
Or where you could
just kind of like talk over them
yeah.
shits, but it's still like rhyming, kind of. You know what I mean? That way it don't sound as fucked up. And sometimes I lose focus and I be trying to do shit like overdose and all that, and my rapidy rap shit. Sign nothing to fit in the face, you know what I mean?
Trying to chop and shit.
But because I don't be giving a fuck sometimes. But
When you was going through the rehabilitation process, what's some music that you would like pop in, listen to, or like fuck with that kind of got you through that?
I ain't gonna lie, I was listening to that 50 on repeat. I was listening to Get Rich or Die Trying on repeat.
So what year was this?
I got shot 2012.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I mean,
it was
shit.
because you could relate to it.
It was just, yeah, I felt like I could relate to it. And not only that, I just wanted to kind of, like, I wanted to feel like how he felt, not just during, selling 13 million copies and none of that, but like feel
The
the
comeback.
pain, like what it was like,
many
dog,
men,
the
man.
rehabbing, like the
Yeah.
rehabilitation process of it. Like, how did you overcome? Like, because that's the part people don't really understand and know. Like, they see you just, okay, you go through something, you in the hospital, shot, whatever happened to you. You know what I mean? You out now. It's all good. It's like a forgotten memory. They don't know like the process of being on, 13 medications.
You gotta go to therapy
You
classes.
know what I mean? Gotta go
shit.
to therapy. Up, can't sleep at night. Can't move. You
Can't lay on a certain
You
side.
can't lay. You gotta sit like this in the
Yeah.
chair. You can't
Yep.
move. Shit, like they don't know like what it take to actually go from like the tragedy to the triumph. You know what I'm saying? And I was trying to like just feel, relate to him on that end of it. Like, what was it like? Like, and how did you get the confidence? Like being shot in the face and all that shit. Like, how the fuck was you still as confident? Like, cause when I seen and knew my face was gonna be like this, like I didn't even want to leave the house for a minute.
Really?
Like, yo, look at my shit, bruh. You know what I mean? I'm looking crazy, man. Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? You know what I mean? I felt like I was like, man, these niggas done killed me. Like this, I can't rap like this now. This shit ain't, you know what I mean? Even some friends and family, like this shit ain't marketable, bro. You might as well go get you a job or something.
Man,
Word.
I think it's a silver
So that
lining.
was my inspiration.
Silver lining, man.
Yeah.
I feel like like you said, it almost people are loving the way. Like people don't know you pre 2012.
Right.
So the way you learn
right.
how to rap again, and the way that's what people love.
Right.
So it's
niggas might not even have fucked with my shit.
That's what I'm saying, man.
You just woke up one day and felt handsome enough to leave the house.
Yeah, man. Nah, yeah, I mean, you know what, man? Man, shout out my man Malek, man. My boy Malek, man. My boy Dread, man. That nigga used to come over every day and like try to like lure me out there. Come on,
let's
bro.
go, man.
Let's go get a Dutch and all
That's
that
what's up.
shit. And I would never go. Then one day I just went with him like, fuck it, come on, we can ride to the mall and shit. And that was my first test of my, cause like the mall, you know what I mean? When it's late, like
everybody gonna be looking at me and shit.
And I ain't gonna lie, like after that, like a funny story, like after that shit, I ain't even go back out for a while after that, cause I was seeing like, I felt like everybody was just like looking at me like, fuck wrong, you know what I mean? Like kids, people, cause my shit was looking, you know what I'm saying? And that shit had me like, that shit fucked with my confidence a little too. Like, man, I ain't going to see what I'm saying. This is why I don't go out. You know what I mean? That's why I don't leave. That's what I'm talking about. But then after a while, I just like, man, fuck that. I'm about to be still the illest nigga. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is, man.
But I think it's important for that, like what you just described, for you to tell that story, because there's people that feel like you that are not leaving the house.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It might be a kid that was born like that, or something like. I know people with birth defects.
Hell yeah, birth defects and shit like that. Like, you can't live your life like just, you know what I mean? I feel like I was cowering out. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, I ain't, man. Life, it ain't over. Like, the world ain't over now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can still do everything you set out to do if you physically able. Like, luckily, I was blessed enough to where when I got shot, like, my legs and my arms and shit still working.
Straight, yep.
But they weren't working at first, but shit, it came back and shit, nigga. So I can still rock a stage. I can still stand in a booth and spit some bars. I'm still gonna strive. Like, you know what I mean?
That's what's up.
You have any opportunity to meet 50 or chop it up with 50 at all?
Yeah, we chopped it up a couple times when we was doing some shows and shit last summer, like all the festivals and all that. You know what I mean? And
so you a fan of what you guys are doing?
Yeah, he fucking with it. He fucking with it. He a good dude, man.
I like
you know what I mean? A couple times I met 50, I can honestly say like I fucks with 50.
You didn't borrow any money from him?
Good dude. No, I know better.
I was about to ask because it's gonna be Monday. In a few days.
How does everybody owe 50 Cent money, man?
Hey yo, you heard that nigga? He posted the cover for the single with me and Eminem. Like, yo, tap in who is Conway is bars. I said, damn, I'm about to this motherfucker. I'm this nigga by Monday now. Take that down,
take
bro.
it down.
I'm good.
You need his money by Monday. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, but yo, shout out to 50, man. That nigga, you know what I mean? It was love, like off rip. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of like, I ain't gonna lie, 50 probably like me. Cause I ain't friendly. I don't be one niggas around me trying
Especially
to.
other rappers.
Yo, what up, bro?
Yeah.
Pictures and all that shit, kind of. You know what I mean? So I thought 50 was like, you know what I mean?
You gotta get used to that shit, Kyle.
But you know what I mean? M introduced us actually, or Paul. I can't remember, either M or Paul. Like, and that was just like we cracking jokes and shit. He talking, you know what I mean? It was just normal. Like I was, you know what I mean? It was nothing, and I kind of like made me feel a little more relaxed. Like, all right, yeah, it's a good dude right here. But
yo,
yeah, shout out to Fifth.
Outside of Deep Richard Die Trying, what are some of your favorite albums of all time?
Favorite albums? I'm probably gotta say like maybe like Doggy Style.
That's my favorite West Coast album ever.
Yeah, The Chronic, of course. And I ain't just saying this because I'm on the West. Like
right.
Anybody know
Doggy
any
Style
of my interviews, niggas know what it is. Like the West Coast shit inspired me.
Doggy Style's a perfect
You know
album.
what I mean? Like Spice, one of them niggas.
Shout out to Spice.
MCA, like that's the type of shit. Q, one of my favorite rappers of all time. I might then I gotta put Q in my top 5. I gotta think about
Spice
that.
One don't get a lot of love, man.
Nigga,
too.
You know what I mean?
Shout out to Spice.
But like some of my favorite albums is like like Doggy Style, Nas, It Was Written, Wu-Tang Forever,
Okay.
Purple Tape, Iron Man,
Salute.
Most Def, Quali, Black
The Black
Star
Star album?
joint. Yeah, Black
Great
Star album.
Respiration, one of my favorite songs ever. Shout out to Conway.
That shit was nasty.
Oh my god, it's like a perfect song.
I forget it was one of them Outkast albums, but
Aquemini?
Andre 3000. Yeah, I think it was Aquemini. Andre 3000, one of my top 5 too. I'm missing some. You know what I mean?
But I mean, that's
Ready
good...
to Die.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I mean, those are all great, man.
Yeah. Ready to Die. Shit like that.
So the Bang record, is this like leading into the next Conway project or?
Yeah, I got the Bang record is off. I got an album coming out. That's gonna be my debut on Shady
It's gonna
Records.
be officially
called,
on Shady.
On Shady, and you know what I mean. Shady Griselda is called God Don't Make Mistakes. You know what I mean. It's just basically, you know, it's probably the most transparent I ever been in any of my music I ever made. You know what I mean? It's I'm tapping into some, you know, some stuff that I ain't never really talked about or told nobody even. You know what I mean? Shit that's going on in my life or what's going on in the past. You know what I mean? It's like I'm telling my story like an open book. The shit is crazy. This is some of my dopest music I ever made. You know what I mean? Everybody say it when they hear it. It's like, yo, bro, this is the illest shit.
It's deep shit.
Yo, you going crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's not just all deep though. It's just, you know what I mean? It's just beautiful music, the beat selection. You know what I mean? I don't really got too many features on there. I got a couple dudes. M obviously
M's on the project.
You know
I'm assuming is the crew. I mean, is the crew on there?
Yeah, Benny West. You know what I'm saying? I think I got some shit from School on there.
Okay.
Schoolboy Q. You know what I mean? Some Alchemist, Ninth Wonder, Derringer. You know what I'm saying?
AOC and Ninth Wonder beats.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I got a few pieces on there. So like I said, it's some of my most transparent music, but also some of my dopest shit ever and my hardest shit ever, all at the same time. You know what I mean? But I got a little project coming out this month called Look What I Became. You know what I mean? That's leading up to God Don't Make Mistakes. It's like all one title, kind of like Look What I Became, God Don't Make Mistakes. You know what I'm saying?
Dope.
So it's really just like, you know, the appetizer to get niggas ready. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of which, when you dropping that singing album?
Oh man, you know that's coming.
You walked in on the harmonies and shit.
Yeah, you know I gotta take my time on that.
What's
the
release date on the singing album?
I'll take my time on that, man. You know the bag gotta be right, man. You know that's stadium status Conway right there, man. You know what I mean? I'm tapping in my Rick James bag right now.
Hey, when you and Al got cut the record, was it in person? Was it over email? How did that How was that?
The Al joint, what, for my album?
Yeah. For your album.
Nah, that was, you know what I mean? I mean, it was in person when I picked the beats.
Okay.
You know what I
So you got
mean?
you was going through beats with him.
Yeah. We went through some beats, you know what I'm saying? But we recorded a lot of shit. I recorded a lot of shit with Al at his house. You know what I mean? At his lab.
Yo,
you know what
you
I mean?
and Alchemist just dropped the whole project. Like
We damn near got one in the chamber. Like we
that's like some of Prodigy's best work. When it was him and Alchemist. Same thing with Currency.
Word.
Whenever Al locks in with an artist, I feel like he brings like the best.
Yeah, nah, Al is a motherfucker, man. When he get you behind them closed doors, man, pause. Like that nigga, he take you there. He get to playing that shit in that MP. And you before you'll walk out of there with a project because
For sure.
you're gonna hear so much shit that's gonna be like, yo, load that up. Ain't nobody get that yet. That's how I was in there. Like me and Wes, we did a whole album in a day.
Let me get that one.
Yeah, we did an album in a day at Alchemist's house.
That's crazy.
Damn.
Word, like 12, 13 songs, probably more. I can't remember. But we was over there one day and like just all day and just recorded mad records.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean?
Who got the
Word.
records?
Shit, we do. And Al got them.
Okay.
Me and Al, we tucking those, man. We playing, you know what I mean? You know, like the motherfucker horse we have, you know, the cowboy had the carrot on the stick. Remember that shit? The cartoons? That's how we doing with the fans with that Hall and Nash Alchemist album.
Yeah. Hey,
Nah,
yo, I know Wes is a big wrestling guy. Me and him saw we did an NXT show together in Phoenix. But what are you? You're not as big of a wrestling fan, I'm assuming, because I'm
not as big as Wes.
Because he's fucking that motherfucker is everywhere. He at indie shows.
Gone. If he ain't rap, that motherfucker had him 2 wrestlers. He'd be walking to the ring. You know what I mean? With the microphone talking shit.
Facts.
Yeah, nah, but I fuck with the wrestling too. Like I fuck with like the old school wrestling though.
What's your thing though?
But
like
I like the new wrestlers too. I fuck with Finn.
Finn Balor's that guy.
Finn Balor, that guy. I fuck with still Randy Orton.
Of
you know
course.
what I'm saying? You know, a few of them dudes, like the new dude, Roman Reigns. I like, you know what I mean? I love Reigns. You know what I'm saying?
Can you help me understand the perspective of what it's? I'm an Arizona Cardinals fan, so I understand what it's like to be a franchise that has not been very successful. But I feel like the Buffalo Bills going to 4 straight Super Bowls and not winning one of them, that's got to be like torturous as a fan. Can you kind of put me in the mind of a Buffalo Bills fan? I mean,
he described it.
See what happens when your team win a bowl.
Yeah, man. Hey, yo, look.
my team didn't win the ball. We went to one and lost.
I'm going to be honest, but if you visit the city, you know what I'm saying, you will see the effect that had on the city. You know what I mean? Like, and this is why, you know, not to try to get like on no political to go left with it, but it's like, that's why rappers from my city and people we got that chip on our shoulder and we so aggressive and hungry because like you got to understand for like the last 2 decades, our city been kind of, you know what I mean, synonymous with failure.
That's true.
That's just the biggest
you know what I mean? Anybody who say anything about Buffalo is like, damn, niggas lost some Super Bowls. That's all we known for.
True.
So it's like everybody just got that ego and like, man, we winning. You know what I mean? Like that ain't not, you know what I mean? So it's like, that's the effect that had on it. So that's what it's like as a fan. And then to keep having losing season after losing season, still at them crowds and them tailgates, sold out games.
Tailgates
and the most
crazy.
It's the most amazing
it's
shit
an experience.
ever. It's the most amazing. Our tailgates is the most amazing.
Jumping off
the
of trailers
fans,
on the tables.
Don't think just because we still the games sell out. We outside.
You gotta be crazy to be outside in that weather.
It's 12 degrees outside.
Hell no.
Blizzard and we there with our Bills shit on and we repping Bills Mafia.
Yo, fam, it's crazy.
We gonna get us one real soon. I'm Bills Mafia.
Who's y'all's quarterback right now?
Josh Allen.
Oh, Josh Allen can run too.
We gonna show him pro.
He had a nice little year last year.
He had a nice little year. We gonna see what he gonna do this year, but you know what I mean. Bills,
is LaShawn McCoy still there?
Yep. Still got
Shady McCoy. He got to stop fucking with
Shout
them
out to
hoes,
Shady,
man.
Shady going for that 12K this year.
Hey, man. Hey, I'm really rooting for y'all. As a Cardinals fan, y'all are like the Cardinals of the AFC.
Yeah, man.
So
we got John Brown from the Cards.
Shit, that's my guy, too.
Yeah, we got him now.
Me and John Brown spent a lot of nights in the strip club together.
Yeah, we
gonna get it right. We're gonna get it right.
John Brown, I don't know.
Why would
He was
you-
a rookie.
Maybe
This was like 3
maybe
years
they
ago.
just went to get
Okay.
wings. Maybe they just went to get lemon
And
pepper.
literally, hey, and to be fair, that is actually the case. Lots of wings were eaten.
Yeah,
feel
you
me?
know, they got good lemon pepper in the strip
Maybe we
club.
just went for the, for the wings.
Right.
Anyway.
You know, I go all the time.
Yo, that's some real shit. Well, yo, we appreciate you pulling up. We're definitely
Man,
gonna have you
already
guys
know,
rap.
kid.
Yeah.
Album coming soon. When is the appetizer of the album coming?
Sometime in August.
Okay.
We figuring out now, but it's coming.
Bang
It's
featuring
real
Eminem is
coming.
out.
Bang featuring Eminem. That shit out right now.
Is there gonna be an
produced by
official
Derringer.
Griselda compilation album?
Yes, that's coming actually probably this month or September, called What Was Sheen Gonna Do, produced entirely by Derringer and B Butcher. Shit is insane, you know what I mean? And it's me, Westside, Benny, all just going bonkers on every record.
Oh, I can't wait to hear it. And
Yeah.
I you guys got the coldest merch in the game.
Oh man.
Who's doing
thank
all the
you,
merch
thank you.
designs?
That's Westside, his genius.
Yo,
Rest
And his
Wes
yeah,
definitely owes me. He owes me one of those Chris Benoit sweaters.
Yeah, man, Wes, man, get the homie his
Come on, man.
package, man.
But yeah, y'all are killing it, man. We appreciate y'all pulling up.
Thanks
Support
for
this
having
guy.
us, man. Thanks
And,
for having
yeah,
us.
They about to rap.